It's estimated that 70% of Swiss farmers' incomes derive from subsidies.
The case method is really the very best way to think about business issues. But thinking about business issues and actually doing business are not the same thing.
Alex?
I'd say politically as well there. Field 2 is one of the main things that distinguishes Harvard from some of its other peers.
I think I agree as well. Field 2 challenged me to think and have a more intentional process in how I work in a team.
You listen more, you work with people, you collaborate more, so you see yourself growing from that experience.
The required curriculum, the RC Field course, is a year-long course, and there are 3 different modules to it.
Field 2 is the Global Immersion. It takes all 900 students to one of 150 emerging market companies where they work with the company to then implement what they had learned in the classroom.
Somewhere in October, there was this secrecy and mystery around where are we going to end up. Everyone on campus was talking about it.
The night of the global dinner is really the culmination of all that anticipation.
I was excited about working with our global partner and was also really excited about my team. I hadn't met any of them before.
And I'm like, hi, so where do you think we're going?
And then we reveal the country that they will go to.
Brazil? Oh my God, is this really happening? In Brazil, we were partnered with Whirlpool, which is a big appliance company.
Our mission was to create a customer experience platform for a beverage machine.
Kind of like a Keurig meets a SodaStream meets a home juicer.
No one else has ever released a household product that did all these things.
In terms of innovation, this is the most important project we have here in Latin America.
The client is very sophisticated. They know their product like profoundly, and they know their market. So you try to add value. It's really hard because whatever idea we would come up with, they'll say, oh yeah, we're doing that.
We'd done some pre-work here in Boston and talked to customers about the things that they were looking for in this type of product and what would encourage them to use it.
But the key of Field 2 is that once you get into country, you realize that, wow, boy, everything we thought about is sort of right, but not quite right.
A lot of our assumptions were dispelled by going into people's homes and actually sitting down with them, watching them use the machine.
We talked to a lot of customers, some on the street.
We started to understand the cultural differences that really start to come out when you're on the ground, but you're not going to get from market research.
A lot of what we heard was interesting to us and completely surprising.
And we're all discussing and trying to synthesize all this information and just feeling like we had more questions than answers and just having all this friction.
Also in that process, the team is coming together and needing to gel to be a client team for the global partner.
The first time we presented to anyone outside of our group was actually the day before we were supposed to present to our client. It was after about 6 days of intense working within the team.
Take it away.
Hi everyone, we're Team Whirlpool.
Our group presented to another team in Brazil as well as a few faculty advisors.
We want to cover all these points in our solutions.
The feedback we got was that our offerings, our suggestions were just too jumbled and that we didn't have focus. Getting critical feedback, especially so close to your deadline, is frustrating. You're going to get at each other's throats.
That was not my idea. That was my idea because I don't see the value.
If you could imagine having 24 hours, I felt a lot of tension.
The debates were very heated.
The challenge is making it clear.
When you work on a team with different people who have different perspectives, there will be conflict, but because people disagree, the solution that you finally land on just ends up being so much stronger.
We had to kind of like burn the ships behind us and just agree that we weren't going to leave until we had a high quality product and deliverable.
We're very excited to be here today.
In the room, we had 10 execs of the company. Of course, we were nervous.
The end deliverable that we worked with our client for was to create an innovation roadmap for them.
People were in need of some Brazilian flavors.
Coming in, we knew that our solution was very comprehensive, but would they like it, or would they think we're not focused enough, or maybe it's not feasible?
The time after the presentation is a bit of a blur.
Thank you all for your passion, excitement, commitment. Great ideas are here on the table that we need to reflect and think about.
And we looked in Fernando's eyes and we saw this look of like excitement and this look of novelty that he hadn't considered some of these thoughts that we had and perspectives we had on our deliverable. It was really satisfying.
Not only did they thank us, they mentioned that they were interested in actually implementing many of the recommendations that we made.
We know from surveys that more than half of the companies actually implement the ideas that students had developed.
Everyone at Harvard is a leader. They wouldn't be here if that weren't the case. But leadership manifests itself in so many different ways.
Working in a team is a really important skill for a leader.
The essence of leadership to me is the team. You are part of the teaching experience. You are learning from each other. So in that sense, I believe you become a better person.
I think Field is exactly where we want it to be in this sustained effort to build leaders who make a difference in the future.